Hello, good day. My name is Topman Paul-Dike, and we are here again. The team is here again to learn more about pure React. So this is a continuation from where we stopped in the last section, which of course is available on YouTube as well. Yeah, we started talking about pure React. We isolated React from JSX, and then talking about that original state, you know, of React in those days that it came newly. And so I'm going to make a directory. Okay, what section was that way? Oh, sorry. I'm thinking it was in section 13 that we discussed period at first. And I think I'm correct. Therefore, I'm going to copy what we have in section 13. Um, uh, I'm going to make a new directory. So let me just copy that one. So copy recursively what we have in section 13. And then make for us a new directory with the same content named section 16. All right, that's great. So we now have section 16. Of course, you have to read the readme and some of that, but I'll just open section 16 with on VS Code. So open section 16 for me. All right, now let's make progress. Okay, I'll go back to my whiteboard if I come here. Here. Okay, so we discussed about the virtual DOM, we discussed about React elements, we discussed about, I think this is where we stop, children. Okay, well, we are trying to we are trying to examine what really happened under the hood. Like I said before in the other video or in the other section, you can learn React without learning all these things. I mean, these are not things that you must learn to understand React. Well, this gives you advantage. That's some advantage. Okay, so about children, what is children about? I said only one component. Someone asked the question. It's not here. I would have demonstrated that. I was trying to demonstrate that question before I ran out of power. Remember, and nonetheless, let me try to demonstrate that. Let's say we have Okay, let me go live. I'm gonna go live and let's see what we have here. What is rendering? Oh, H1. Okay, so I'm going to have this on a white Steam browser. So I'll go back to this place, open a tab, paste the URL here. So my last server was subbing from here. So what we have there now is this stuff being rendered here. I'm going to comment it off and render it using React in this place. So let's uncomment this one, largest header. Okay, so I'm rendering largest header. I hope this is correct. Oh, just header one. Oh, that's interesting. So let me undo. So I'll comment. I'll copy this and paste it here. Let me comment one off first. Try to demonstrate how that React only renders one root component. You cannot have more than one root component rendered. Okay. So using React, let me now render the header one, largest header name, and I wanted to render here, and this place is container. Okay, let me render it on React container header. React container. React container. I think I want to leave this one, but change it to 16. So on comment, okay, React done the lender, and so I'll make it second largest header. It's no more largest header, second largest. Because I want to make it uh, what am I doing here? Page title. That's not what I want. I think I'd rather use this one, header 2, and come here and say render for me header 2. Okay. So header 2 is, let me take this off for now. Say null. Learning React section 16. Learning about React children. That's enough, right? 3 arguments. Okay. Okay, so to avoid confusion, let's take this all off and take this all. Let me take this one off. Just know that this guy is not part of the. Let me even take this one up here so that you know that they are together. Okay, so I declare the constant variable header 2, and I use it to create a h1 element that has no attributes. Attributes are these things that we have here, like class ID. It has no attributes, and the child is learning about React. Some tests that should be nested in it. Okay, and then here I am rendering it. I'm rendering the header 2, and I'm targeting the div with the ID React container up here, right? To render it there. So let's see what happens now. This particular one, is it H1 I created? Oh, I want something H2. Let me make it H3. H2. H2 will be fine. Okay, so this one was rendered by normal HTML. This one was rendered by React. Right? And if you've not seen the right video, it may look a bit you may be lost, and especially if you don't had anything about React before, or you've not really learned React before. But don't worry yourself. Just take your time. Go back to the other video, watch it, and then come back to this one. The video on pure React. Come back to this one, because if I start reiterating it, if I start saying the things I've said already, I mean, it will be like whiling away time, right? So we're learning about React children. Now, this guy was a child of that React element that was created there. It was a child. Now, we can take advantage of this child functionality to do several things. Now, note that this guy renders only one root element. What do I mean by that? Let me now copy this guy, paste it here, and say header 3. Header 3, read the element, I say h3, and then I say React is fun. Let's see what happens. I'll be surprised if it's not what I expect. React is quite some fun. I don't know whether that is a good English, a good grammar, or good English expression. Okay, so now let me now copy this and paste it here to the render, right? So this is supposed to be rendered by this. All right, so let's create a space between them and see what will happen. All right, so I want to render header 3, and I'm targeting the same place. Let's go. See that it has overridden the other one because two of them cannot render. You know, two of them cannot render. The way to make these guys render, let me try this. This is funny. Let me try it. Let me now make this particular one, the child, this header 3, the child of this one. So I'll just go here. I don't need to create the element. I don't need to save it in the variable again. So I'll just copy this. Which is correct. Yes, I'll cut this off from here and put it inside here as a child of this one. So I'll paste it here, and let me use word wrap. Where's that guy now? Yeah, alternate T. So I doesn't skip this page. It will stay, everything will stay on this screen. Okay. Let me make this code clear a bit. I don't need this line again, so I will cut it off. I don't need this one as well. I'll cut it off. So that is question 4. Let me make sure that everything is going on well. Let me arrange it this way such that this is the second argument. This is the third argument. And this is the closing curly brace. If this is quite funny anyway. What I'm doing right now is quite funny. Quite funny. So let me use double parentheses here. And here. And then put this. This looks funny. Alright, so learning about React children. React create it's not something I'm not doing right here. Okay, comma. Okay, this should be another argument. So this is one argument. I don't think I need this. I don't think I need this. So this is one argument. This is another argument. In other words, this is one child. This is another child. Let's see now. Trouble. Okay, let's leave that. I was trying to play around, but now let's try making it another list. I think there's something I'm doing right there. I was trying to play around, but there's something not right. I'm trying to play with code. There's something not right. First argument, second argument, third argument. Then it should be supposed to be fourth argument. You see this stuff? Okay, that was it actually. So now this one is like a child of this guy, but then is that what we expect? H3, H2, that's not what we expect. Now let's do this right using normal HTML. Let's try to create an ordered list in this container. So if I want to create another list, I'll use the word the elements UL, and inside UL I'll start listing what I want. In fact, I can now write the title of the list. I can say this list is list of, well, let's say attendance list. Attendance lists, and I'll start defining my list. So the first on the attendance list is, let's say it will be the next on this attendance list. If I copy this, paste it here, change this to John Abbas. I could copy and paste as well and change this to, what did I do? Did I copy? Oh, I cut it actually. So copy, paste, and change it to Abiadu. And then copy, paste, changes to Gold Kid. Does that mean it's not Mike? So it wants to talk to us. All right. I'll copy this, I'll paste, and I'll name this Carpenter John. Great. So let's see what that looks like. So this is the list we just created, right? This is the list. It's called attendance list. Let me even make the title of it bold. What tag would be appropriate for this? Paste. All right. So we have attendance list here. Okay. I'm going to take all other thing off so that other thing that's coming from React off so that I just need to comment this line that is rendering it, and they're all off except this. What am I doing? What is happening here? Oh, I want to put the list before this one. Okay. Okay. So let's cut it. Let's cut them and put them here. All right. So that's it. So attendance list. You can see. Now let's do this using React, and that's what we'll be using is we're making we'll be taking advantage of children, creating children, because this guy now is the parent of this guy, right? But this guy is not the root element. This is the root element here. That's how React behaves. So if you give React this element, you can only give it one root element. Every other thing has to be inside, inside it. So let's create a list like this using React here. So I'll come here and say let's say list equals create element. I have to indicate that I want it to create UL element called UL, and I don't want it to have any attribute. And okay, let's give it some attributes. So I'll just put object here, and let's give it an attribute of class name. Class name. The class name will be list of what's of list of list of fruits. Okay. I think this has been closed in string as well, and then comma, passing that as object, and now I'll come here and say, let me give it an ID of fruit list. Okay. All right. So this is the first argument. This is the second argument, which is about the attributes, and here I'm going to have the third argument. So the third argument now is another of this, an entire full member like this is taking itself, another member of itself, like a self-referential structure, not exactly as an argument. So, but this time I'm creating li for list, and let this one be kept null. And what I want to list here is orange first, orange, and comma. I can add more arguments. Let me copy this, paste it, and change this to apple. Apple. Okay. I'll still paste some more. Let me take this piece off here. Okay. This time I'll call this one strawberry. I'll paste another one. I'll call this one, somebody give me some fruits name, please. Paw. I'll paste again. I'll call this one cucumber. Kakumbe. I'll paste again. I'll call this one cherry. Is there any fruit like this? Sounds like it's a fruit like that. Okay, so now let's go and check and see how this renders. Of course, I'm yet to render it, so you won't see it here yet. Where is that stuff? You won't see it here yet. And okay, so let me render it now by uncommenting this line and targeting this. Oh, I even said spread something as an list. So I'll target that variable list that is holding what I created and its children. So get document by ID React container. It means I want to render this stuff in this particular div that has the ID of React container. Okay. Now let's roll. Let's see. All right. So you see, I have a list of oranges here. I have a list of oranges here. Meanwhile, let me try to add a title like this. Let me begin from there. So I will have. How do I add that now? I'll add it before this one. So I will I'll paste that stuff here and say create. Let's say B, a bold element, and call it list of fruits. Yeah, this should work. All right. So you see that React is the one bringing this one. Normal HTML is the one bringing this one. There's no JXS yet. Let's inspect this page and see what's really going on. Now, this is the body, and which is the mother of all of these things enclosed here. And so we have the container with the ID. Sorry, the div with the ID of container, right? That div is containing all of these things, including the React container itself. You see, when I touch container, it's highlighting everything here, right? Because it's containing everything. Then when I touch this one, it's highlighting only learning React section. Excuse me, section 16. Okay, if I touch the attendance list, only attendance list is highlighted. So you can see that this one, they're highlighting their children as well. Just take it that they're highlighting their children. Now this one, now look at you want, if I touch here, see what happens. This list, see what happens. So if I touch here to see what happens, the list is highlighted. So this list now, this thing was able to render because we have only one root component bearing other children. You can see that thing that usually shows that, oh, it's React as rendering this, look at it, UL data React root. This is what shows that it's React. We give it a class name, so you took it as the class list of fruits. We give it an ID. Look at it here, right? And it did list the fruits. Let's see. You can see. Quite interesting, right? Okay, that's that about children. If you have any question and you're live on the call, you may ask. Put it as in comment message or raise your hand. You feel free to interrupt if it is very necessary. But if you're watching on YouTube, you can post as a comment your question. Now that's that about children. So data and React. Of course, this is a data. This is a data. Data is anything, a piece of raw information, right? So this is an information about fruits. So one advantage that React gives us is that we can manipulate data as though we are writing JavaScript, because React is JavaScript. So I could come here and let's say I don't want to do this. Let me comment all of this off. And now come here. I wish the whole of this was a multi-line comment, so let me do this other put asterisk here and come here and add asterisk here. So it's a commented line of code now. There are commented lines of code. So I want to rather have something else here. I think I should comment this one as well. I'll just copy, paste, and move this one up here and comment it. This is another one. I like saving the code so that you can play with them or push them to Git. You can save them there. Now, let's look for another way to make that thing work. On the browser, I shouldn't be showing again. It's not showing again. So I want to do the same thing, produce the same results using showing how that reacts. I'm explaining this subtopic now. Data in React, how they work. Okay, so I'm going to declare a variable, a constant variable, and it's going to be an array. I'll call it fruits. And fruits is going to be an array of these fruits that we mentioned here. The first is orange. The next one is cherry. They're supposed to be strings, right? Okay. So I will close this in a string, and I'll close this in a string as well, and I'll go ahead to declare the other ones. So we have cucumber. You feel free to omit and tell me some more fruit. Why are you letting me talk alone? Strawberry. Somebody give me fruits. Watermelon. How am I even sure I'm in this?
Udara.
What you say, Dora?
Avocado.
Udara.
Avocado.
Udara.
What is Udara?
Pear.
Avocado. Did I spell it well? Avocado.
Yes, it's correct. Pear.
Okay. So I had pear. Is it like this?
I think pear is okay.
You think? Tell me you.
No. Berry.
Berry. Is it berry? I want to root as cherry before. Hey.
No, there's berry. I think they are different. No,
Okay. Berry. Now you know plenty fruits like this, and allow me suffer since. Okay, I think this is enough for a demo. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, now like I'm writing JavaScript. Seriously, I'm writing JavaScript right now. This is array in JavaScript. So you see why we had to take all those parts to master those concepts in JavaScript and those concepts in ES6 before coming to this domain of React. Now you begin to appreciate the importance. Now I can now come here and say list const. Let me save in a variable, in the constant variable. At least equals. I think at this point. Hello. Who has a noisy mic? Please mute. React dot create element. I had a snippet for this. Yeah. Who remembers? I had a snippet for this. How will I be suffering myself? I'm typing this in again. I had a snippet for it. Element. Yeah, that's it. I mean, we are looking for how to make life easier, not make things harder than they should be. So right now, what I'm trying to do now is to save in a variable some expression that we go and iterate through this array and get all of these and form an unordered list with it. Unordered list, right? Unordered list. So let's go. So React render element. I want you to render this kind of element, and let me give you the class of fruit or an ID of fruits. So ID fruits. Okay. It's in this third element that the magic will happen. I will still take advantage of the child functionality in React. right? So other want to become children. Okay, so I'm gonna use the map function. We learned about the map function. Those are things we learned about while we are on this journey. Video is available there. Yeah, we learned about array method. Okay, it's method, right? It's actually a method. Of course, the method is a function. So I will say fruits dot map. Map will take as an argument an arrow function, right? And I'm going to say give it two arguments, fruits and key, because React will throw up an error if I don't give it a key. React has a way, like to have a way of identifying each particular child. So if I don't give it a key, it may render, but it will throw up an error. All right. So what I want this to do is um, render elements. Let me see elements. Okay, I think wow. I'm thinking factories will be work better here. Make my syntax shorter. I will explain that later. What factories are. React dot dom dot li. Let's see whether this works first. This works, then I will explain. Okay, so constant list this is equal to this. So the map, the array up there, fruit of map, catch the fruit, give it the key, and then render this. Oh no, I should have this. I did not give what to render. Imagine me. I should put in another bracket that I wanted to render the fruit. Of course, this is not actually rendering. I wanted to create some React elements. Okay, I think this is cool. If there's no error in this syntax, it should render. Let's try. Fingers crossed. Drum rolls. Let's see what happens. Where are you, server? It did not render. Something is not right in my syntax. Who wants to help me debug? Okay, since I'm using factories, let me use factories all true. So I'll go react dot dom dot ul. After this, I'll explain factory. Let it work first. If it works, I will explain factories what they are and what they're doing. Factory will not need this first argument again. Let me just take it down to arrange it. Make it look right. I think using factory. Using factory. Now I'm rendering the list and I'm rendering it at this point. So let's see again. Are you kidding me right now? What is happening? Oh. Maybe I should go back to my darling create. And go back to this, isn't this? I'll just use it here as well at once. Copy it. Replace this guy. Right. And give it the first argument as li. Okay. And yeah, should be no. Am I correct? Am I correct? Let's see. How did the bug enter this code? Where did the bug come from? Somebody help. You see why? You see why after learning this, after going through this, debugging becomes easier. Now we are encountering something that one learning React may not necessarily encounter. But at least this will help us get a good knowledge of mapping. Let me just start all of this over. Let me comment this off.
Right.
You want to help out?
Oh no.
Okay. So let me do this. React dot. No. I have a snippet for you. Element. I want to create another list. And okay, let's forget about giving the class name. I'm not interested right now. Just work for me. Um, and so I want to use the map function on fruits declared above. So fruits.map. VS Code, leave me now. You're overdoing. So I want you to map out um, your fruits and the key. No, fruit and the key. Okay. And I want you to, for each of them, these are two arguments. I should have bracket here. So then as you map out, I want you to create as my snippet again. I want you to create like element of type li, and I want the key to be okay. I want the key to be um uh, uh, okay. Let me just call this let me call this IDX. I think key is a keyword here. So IDX. So the key should be IDX. And when you just pray that it should work, I will explain if it works well. And then the guy that should be rendered now is the fruit that is mapped by the map function. So fruit to be rendered. Um, do I want to save all of this in a variable? Yes. What's the difference between this one and this one? Let's see whether it works first. Const what now? Lists equals this. Okay, let's hope that it works this time. So render lists targets the div with the ID that container. Let's see. Oh, it worked. So what was I doing wrong? I think key is a keyword. That's what I think. I mean, I used this thread and it was not working. And when I now mentioned that the key, I would have loved to experiment if I was alone. I would have done some more experiment. So this was what I was doing wrong. I was using the key straight here, and I also was was trying to destructure what was coming from here. Okay, let's just leave that alone. I'll just take this off. All right, so yeah, it is. This is data in React. Okay, so there's an array of data here, and of that's it. There's an array of data here, and I am catching this data, iterating through it, like looping, not really looping actually, mapping out each of them and rendering each of them as a member of this list. And I could as well have, let me have a title like this, bold title list of this. So I will put it here. I'll say element. So create this, I'll say B, create this kind of element for us. Second argument, no, that's not attribute. Then say list of fruits. Okay, and then put a comma here. So let's arrange this code to look a bit sweeter. So this is argument number 1. This is argument number 2. Argument number 3. And argument number 4. This one should go down a bit. This one is the one rendering. Let's see, is it still working? Yeah, so list of fruits. Wow, React, very interesting. React is very interesting, isn't it? All right, what next? Factories. Factories is what I tried to use here that didn't work, but I'm going to use it again. It should work now. Factories is like is okay, in my own words, a representation for each element where I don't need to be using the create element, no, the React create element method where I specify that this is the element. I could just go straight to say that uh, by using React dot DOM, do I have a snippet for this? I'm not sure. Dot B, I should be able to create a bold element, right? So it's let me even check whether I have a snippet for it. Preference, configure snippet, the code, React element code. Yeah, factory I have. Oh, factory. As better. Back to this place. Okay. Okay, so it means if I type factory, this whole thing should come out. Factory. Great. So if I say dot B here, I should, if I sound you, I should be able to now pass the first argument as null, showing that showing that I don't want any attributes. So I now want, let's say, this is a bold test. Okay, let's say this is a new paragraph. This is a new paragraph, and let's not make it a bold element again. Let's make it the paragraph. So P. So that's factory for you, but let's see whether it will work. Of course, you don't want to look for trouble by trying to render two root components. So we're going to make it a child of this one by adding it in the argument. So I will cut this off. What are you doing? I will cut this off, and then I will go and put it here. So I'll render it here. That should be a comma here, and then I'll paste it here. So let's see whether this will work. All right, so it worked. So that's just React Factory. I'm moving with the speed of light, okay? Because we still have to learn about backend today. Have to continue our backend development. So, but if you have any question, you can ask. React components. I mean, do I keep talking about this? I mean,
Hello.
React.
Is it just
Yes.
me?
What?
Mr. Biodu, can you hear Topman?
Ah, who can hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Ebube, yeah, that's all.
I
Don't
don't
come
think you
on.
can hear Topman.
Don't come and disrupt my announcement. Somebody should give her a test. Don't come and disrupt my now with your village network. Village Nigeria network. Okay, you're making progress. I think this is about the last thing I have to talk about pure React, because when we get to this place, we're not talking pure React again. We're talking JSX now, and I think it's easier this way. Some of these things I was suffering here, I will not suffer them. So React components. What I mean, I think I've even talked about React components. What are React components? React components now. When we wrote these are codes that we wrote, right? Let's say, let me use diagram to illustrate it. Let's say this happens. I'm gonna call this let me use a test. So I'll refer to this as what is this now? Let's say HTML. Yes. HTML, and I'm going to call this the DOM, document object model. So I illustrated in some of the previous video. I think the last one or the one before the last one. The last one before this one. The section on pure React. Okay, I stated how that I showed this stuff that is happening here. How that the browser creates a DOM. DOM stands for document object model, right? Document object model. When you say model, something that resembles something. Okay, it's here. It's even here. Document object model, right? So when you write your um HTML code, let me go up here. I thank God I have the both of them. This is an HTML code, right? This is HTML code as well. And when you write it, it goes straight to the browser. The browser receives these things here, all these codes, and creates a copy of it. That's why you're saying now, okay, watch. This guy is standing here, right? Standing alone, stating the type of document, right? You know that all of the things you're writing is enclosed in it. This is the closing tag for it. No. I'm mistaken. I think I'm mistaken. That's the closing tag for this one. But this one is separate. This is document declaration, right? And this guy is carrying all these guys. So even the body, everything is enclosed in it. It's not the mate of head. Even though in our VS code you're putting them together, there's no problem. They are not mates. Head is a child of this HTML. It is head and body that are mates. They are the same level. Why div is a child of this body, title is a child of this head. But the browser will now create a tree-like structure, like a tree. Now watch this. On this browser here, let's inspect our HTML documents. So let me close this side. Let me shrink this side. Now this is the head. This is the HTML document. This is doc type declaration. They took it apart, right? This is the HTML. See how is the mama for everybody. Look at the opening tag. Look at the closing tags. It's scanning everybody. But now VS Code, if you look at it, it's like they are mates on the same line. It's kind of, so it is the root of a tree, right? So if you click here now to open what is in the head, as you click here, it shows you that I have 3 children. HTML say I have. Look, let's take it again. HTML is saying he has or she has. It has to be a she. We're talking about reproduction. Yeah, she has 2 children. Head and body. So if I visit head is saying I have 3 children, 2 meta, 1 title. That's all about head, right? And then body is saying I have 1, 2. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3. How many children? Plenty children, no. And body now has a child div that has his own children as well. You can see. Okay, these are the 3. Okay, body has 3 children actually. 1, 2, 3. This, and this. What about this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What am I saying? 5 children. Now, if you click on div has her own children as well, right? 1, 2. So this arrow is showing that this one still has children, and this one still has children. So the child of the li is a booby. The test a booby. The child of this li is a test, John Abbas. Okay, so this tree-like structure now is what the browser is using to render it. Is to render the thing, to interpret, to say, okay, is this what you mean? It will now interpret it based on what it understands here. All right, so that's it. That's how it happens here. But then, if I want to change something, I did it in that video as well. I'm seeing the hand raised. Hold on. If I want to change something, yes, JavaScript can change it. Vanilla JavaScript, like we call it, it can change, but it will have to use a process called DOM manipulation. DOM manipulation. It will manipulate the DOM. We demonstrated that in the previous video, and change what we want to change. But React gives us that leverage where we don't need to manipulate the DOM. Where when we need this guy to render as this, we now render and later come and use JavaScript to manipulate this thing and change it to what we want. No, React make sure it avoids that thing, or if it does it at all, it will be very minimal. Very minimal. Now, how does it work? I'm explaining React document now. React components rather. This guy, React component. This is how it works. It will be created here. So let me call this one React. React components. So React components. I'm going to make that small enough to be contained here. So React components. React component will not go straight to the DOM. It will not create a virtual DOM. Virtual document object model. Virtual is not seen. It is from this virtual DOM that this guy will see its own the item that it will use to now create the DOM. So let's go back to our web page here and inspect the React component now. React component began from, let me close all of this. Let me shut all of this up. Okay, it's here. So this is what we have. This is the div that has the React component, right? We gave it an idea of React container. So this guy was not manipulated. Manipulation has to do with it. The browser forming the DOM first, and then your JavaScript coming to work on the DOM to change something. But this one did not pass through that process. This one did not even receive it until the React has rendered the way it should. The React has put everything the way it should be. So it received what the React did. It received these things before they landed on the browser. Before they came, I mean, what it got was what the virtual DOM created. The virtual DOM does created something that the way it should look like. It gave instruction to this guy. So it came from here to here, and from here to here, and from here to the browser. That's it about React components. So there are basically instructions that are used to build the virtual DOM. There are instructions that determine how the document object model should be built. Yeah, that's my own way of defining it now. So Victoria, you had a question. Your hand was raised. You want to ask a question? She's not here again. Not here again. So I think I've exhausted this.
No, it's just sitting there.
You're unmuted. I bet you are here. You pay a fine for disrupting my section. Okay, so any questions, please? Any confusion? Any misunderstanding? Any misunderstanding? Where was that place that I used to teach? There was that. Well, I thought it was this board we've been using. There's a board where I was demonstrating the components character of React. How that different components come to form one. All of them will be branching from the root components, right? Yeah. So React components, they allow us to use reuse the same DOM structure, for different set of data, and so there are three ways to create data to create components in React as in pure React. So you have the create class, ESX classes, the state functional, stateless functional component. But those are the things that we don't want to go deep, because right now we'll be talking about functional component, class component, and I think three more. I thought there was only two, until I had about three more of them. So the next time we talk about React, we'll be talking about modern React. We'll be talking JSX. Maybe I should do a bit of JSX. I mean, well, I think I've taken a bit of time. Let's stop here. But if you watch this, basically, you discover that I can actually separate these files. I can separate all of these files and allow HTML to be in HTML, and create another file here and allow React to be in that React file. I will name it with the file extension.js, and then everything will still work well. right? So I can be separating components, create header components, create sidebar components, create what article component, all of those and put them together. That's what happens when we enter that command and say um that command, the npm command that builds React app, that creates React app. It will create the models we need. Yeah, it will create package.json for us. It will create package.lock, something like that, and then it will now create the it will now come with some default source code that you have to take off and put your own, and start creating what you want. Create what you remove what you want, what you don't want, and create what you want, and build your own application. I think we'll be doing that in the next React section. But then everyone should try and do something with React. Do something with React. Remember, the learning is not just what we do here. I mean, this is just a small part of it. The main thing is what you do alone, what you do on your own. So when we come like this, we share. Since there's no other question, I'm going to stop here for now. Have a very nice day.